Hi, I'm Jeanette, the Northdawn Coach. Welcome to the last of my series where we are exploring what you can do in the month of December if you are in job search mode. Now, this is particularly relevant if you were laid off earlier in 2025, if you've been searching for a while, and it's also relevant if you're currently employed, but you know you want to make a pivot or a transition. So we have been exploring sort of a recipe during this month of what you can do when things really slow down from the perspective of job search. Fewer positions being posted, less interviewing going on, even less networking. We can still make productive use of this month, even as of the timing of this video, when we sit at the last of the full weekends before we turn to the new year later on next week. So what is the set of ingredients? Well, if you haven't had a chance to catch any of the earlier videos, I'll leave a link so that you can learn more specifically about what I'm recommending in those steps. But today we are going to focus on the last and final ingredient, the secret sauce, so to speak, of what you can do in this job search period when it slows down. And when I tell you this ingredient, I want you to avoid rolling your eyes because it may feel like, right, this doesn't work. What I'm talking about though in this ingredient is a special version of it. So what I'm talking about is rest, but I'm not talking about adding the ingredient of rest that looks like taking a nap or laying on the couch and watching a bunch of Netflix videos. That rest is good, no judgment around those things, but it's not the secret sauce ingredient I'm talking about. The secret sauce version of rest that I'm talking about is rest that gives your brain rest. The kind of rest that gets you into a flow state where you lose all track of time. And just an aside, as I say that, I realize that you can lose all track of time while you're watching the Netflix videos on the couch. But again, that's where the comparison, yes, there is a comparison there, but it's not the same thing. So, end of the aside. The flow state of rest, though, allows your brain to take a rest from the constant churning that you have probably been doing around what can I be doing in job search mode? You know, how can I move forward? It allows you to focus on something else and let your brain work behind the scenes on coming up with some of the more interesting creative solutions. So that when you return to job search mode, AKA the first week of January, you are ready to almost magically have more of those interesting new opportunities come your way. Not necessarily because the phone's going to ring or you're going to see something in your email, but because your brain will have had a chance to work through some of these interesting solutions behind the scenes, and then they can come forward. So what kind of things put you into a flow state? It varies person by person. Things for me are engaging in I went to the Computer History Museum locally in the last week or so, and that's not what I do on a regular basis, but the whole history and the engaging within that setting gave me a sense of flow, so that when I came out, new and interesting creative ideas around my business and what I do were able to come up for me. Or it makes me think about in the past when I've been a part of a choir and we're in choir rehearsal, the time spent focused on learning the music, first of all, puts me into, I can't think about anything else when I'm doing that. So that gives me this sense of flow. And interestingly, even on the issue of that process, I find taking a step away from it and then coming back to it, that sort of solidifies in my brain. So it's going to vary for you. It could be, getting out there and moving your body and giving your brain a rest from that perspective, all sorts of different things. But that's the secret ingredient to being ready when we come back into the new year and we need to hit the ground running, to have allowed your brain to take the rest, to come up with more of the creative and out of the box thinking. All right. If you would like some assistance in thinking through some of these ideas, I'm happy to offer you a free 45-minute career strategy session. I'll drop the link in the description box so that you can sign up for that. I will give you some time, even if you want to do that during this last week of the year. And then I will come back next week with a brand new series. And I won't spoil that yet, but join me next week at this time. In the meantime, have a very productive, restful week. Take care. Thanks for watching.